You see Billie Jean, our main character, late 20s, beautiful, in her 1968 Plymouth convertible, screaming down a desert highway. Just dust and hair flying everywhere, cigarette in her mouth. Her husband, her love, everything that she cares about, Willie, is in the driver's seat driving down the car. They have just gotten back from another successful score. They're outlaws. He's the most deadly man in the 5 counties, and she's the most beautiful. They get home. Willie walks in, drops the money on the ground. Billy goes right to the turntable, puts on Crimson and Clover. Willie goes to the cabinet, grabs a glass, grabs a bottle of bourbon, sits down at the table and starts counting the score. As Billy just sits there and starts to feel the music and she starts grooving, she's trying to get Willie's attention, but Willie can't be taken away from what he's doing. Until the money gets thrown off the table by Billy, and Billy goes right into his lap and they embrace in a way lovers can only embrace. Later that night, she's preparing dinner. As she brings over a plate of food to Willie, the whole world starts to change. Something happens, and there's just wood chips flying everywhere. There's just blood. The sounds, you can't hear anything. It's so loud you can't hear anything. We then realize that they're now the victim of being robbed. Willie gets hit with a few bullets. He's on the ground. Billy runs over and puts him in her arms. And just as that happens, a shadowy figure comes in through the front door, comes straight over to Willie, puts a shotgun right to his chest, and pulls the trigger. He now has a hole in his chest, literally and figuratively. And then he looks at Billy to where he's still shouting, you can't tell. She looks up and she looks at this person as she knows him. He then pulls out a pistol, shoots her in the head, and we think the story's over. Then Billy wakes up the next day, covered in Willie's blood, and we realize that the bullet only skimmed the side of her face and took off a piece of her ear. She sits there in contemplation with Willie's dead body in her arms, blood all over her. And she thinks to herself, should I just get out of Dodge? Or do I go after this person? As we now will reveal in this moment that it was her ex-employer, the accountant, that has backstabbed her and took all the money that they just made on the score. As we sit with her for a moment, as she contemplates this, she comes to that moment where she looks over at the record player and still sees the needle on the record as the record moves around, making just a droning hum. She's going to avenge Willie. So she makes her way to the Roadhouse Saloon where the accountant spends most of her time. A battle ensues, and of course she is victorious. And then the accountant comes in, and she is waiting for him. As the accountant comes in, she brings him into the back, ties him to a chair. And this is honestly where I think I'm going to end the story, to where you don't actually see her getting the avenge, but rather a shot from between her legs onto the accountant with a shotgun in her hand. And the camera's going to slowly pull out to reveal all this. I don't want it to end like a normal story. I want you to get the satisfaction that she has avenged this person, but not actually show it in a totally linear way. I know some people will not like this, but it's the route I want to go. I want to do something that is not as traditional